We're trying to implement a menu-driven program in C for the following operations on circular queue. So what are the different operations that we can perform on circular queue? Those operations are being discussed in program number 6. So what is the first thing that we are supposed to do? Insert an element onto the circular queue. So we have seen about circular queues. So first thing is try to insert an element onto the circular queue. The second operation is delete an element from the circular queue. The third operation is check the overflow and underflow situations of the circular queue, because before inserting you should check whether circular queue is full. Before deleting you should check whether circular queue is empty. So those conditions are called as overflow and underflow conditions. You're supposed to check these conditions also. Then just display all the elements present in the circular queue. So display the status of the circular queue, or in other words, display all the elements present in the circular queue. So the program should be supported by using appropriate functions. We should write the corresponding functions for all the operations. Right, we'll begin with the required header file, inclusion of required header file, and we are taking maximum size for our circular queue as 5. That means we can store and process maximum 5 elements. If you want, you can give more size also. And we are taking these global variables. Front initialize with 0, rear initialize with -1, and count initialize with 0. Why? Because why count is required? We know that count is going to hold the number of elements which are present in the circular queue at any given point of time. If you want to know how many elements are present in the circular queue, we'll just refer to the count. So front is pointing to 0 and rear is pointing to -1. And our circular queue is created with the name called CQ of max. That is circular queue of max. So for better feasibility, what I will do here, I'll try to draw the queue here itself. Right, so that parallelly we can understand. So 5 locations are there in the circular queue. So let us say the index 0 is here, 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and this is what is our circular queue, CQ. Circular queue. What size we have taken? 5. So there are 5 locations in the circular queue. And initialize with these required variables. Count is initialized with 0. Why? Because there are no elements in the circular queue at present. Front is initialized with 0. So front is pointing to index 0. I'll be using F for front and R for rear. So rear is pointing to -1. So in fact we can start in 2 ways. Queue size -1, that will be 4, or rear equal to -1. So for our understanding purpose, I am starting rear with here. So in fact it is pointing to -1. You can just imagine that rear is having a value of -1, because when you increment it for the first time, so when you increment it for the first time, obviously R will start with the value of 0, because -1 plus 1 is 0. So this is just an initialization of the circular queue what we are talking about. These are the different functions for inserting an element out of the circular. This is the function for inserting an element. This is the function for deleting an element from the circular queue. Function for displaying all the elements of the circular queue. So let us start the execution from the main function, because program execution will always start from the main function. Take an integer variable called ch, which is going to store the option given by the user or the programmer. Right, if you want to insert an element into the circular queue, you have to give choice 1. If you want to delete an element, choice 2. If you want to display all the elements of the circular queue, you choice as 3. And if you want to terminate the process of circular queue operations, then you give a choice of 4. So whatever choice you enter, that choice will be stored in the integer variable called ch. So whichever choice is feasible, whichever choice you want to give, that choice you can give. Now what is the choice? Let us say I want to insert the element, because let us first check the insert condition onto the circular queue, and let us try to insert elements onto the circular. If there was some sort of disturbance, right now I think now if the voice is clear, can you acknowledge me? You can hear now voice. Audio is coming to you properly.
Yes, sir.
Yes, right. Good. Right. Choice is one. What it indicates, we want to insert some elements onto the circular queue. So that particular choice will be kept within the switch statement, and different cases will be matched. Case 1 for circular queue insert, 2 for delete, 3 for display, and 4 for exit. And if you give anything else, invalid choice will be given, and this will be repeated until you give the exit value. So these are the basic fundamental functions in the main function. Now let us see in detail how these functions work. So let us say if you want to insert, CQ insert function will be called. So control will get transferred to circular queue insert. Yes, control is getting transferred to circular queue insert function. Right. So these are the present. This is what is present status of the circular queue. There are no elements in the circular queue. And take one character variable called ELE. So ELE, which is going to store the element which you want to store into the circular queue. Now say before you insert element onto the circular queue, you should check whether the circular queue is full or not. How will you check? By using the count variable. The present value of count what we gave was 0. Now if count is equal to max, what is max? Max is 5. So if count is equal to 5, we say that circular queue is full. Now circular queue is not full because there are no elements in the circular queue. This condition is false. Now if there is a space in the circular queue, then ask enter the element to be inserted. So store that element in the variable called ELE. So let us say you want to insert an element called 10. You want to store an element called 10 in the circular queue. If you want to store an element called 10 in the circular queue, so that 10 must be stored in the circular queue at appropriate location. So obviously, what is that suitable location for that? We should start storing from this location onwards. So whenever you insert an element to the circular queue, what is the procedure that we follow? Increment the rear by 1. Whatever present rear value is there, perform rear equal to rear plus 1. If you can see your present rear value is -1. So -1 plus 1 is what? 0. 0 modulo max, that is 0 modulo 5 is 0 itself. So what it will result? It will result into a value of R as 0. So be informed that I will tell once again, in place of R, rear I am using just term called R. Now what value I have got for R? For R I have got it as 0. Then add the circular queue array at the rear position, insert this element. What is the value of rear here? Value of rear is 0. That is CQ of 0. What you should write? You should write as 10 because I want to insert element 10. So CQ of 0, circular queue of the element at the 0th location present in the circular queue is given with a value of 10. So 10 has been inserted successfully. What is the usual thing that we do? Whenever you insert an element into the circular queue, you have to increment the value of count by 1. So that is what is next step. What you do? What I do? Count equal to count plus plus. So earlier value of count was 0. Now the new value of count is becoming 1. New value of count is becoming 1. So we have successfully inserted one element. So we have to check for the overflow condition. What I will do, I will iterate. I will insert some more elements in the circular queue. I will insert some more elements in the circular queue. So I will erase all these indexes. Right? Then we have inserted successfully, and the value of count was 1 second. I'll take the value of count. I'll just remove it from this place and I'll rewrite it here. Element which you want to insert and the value I will write it here. Count was 0, it has become 1 now because there is one element in the circular queue. So assume this is what is the input order what you are giving 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So these are the elements what you want to give into the circular queue. Now if you call the insert function once again, so count is not equal to max. So check this condition. What is count? Count is 1. Is it equal to 5? No. Condition is failing. So once the condition is failing, what we do? Queue is full, condition will not get displayed. So this will be executed only when the entire circular queue is full. So this will be executed only once at the end. Whenever your circular queue is full, so that will be executed only once during the end. Whenever our entire circular queue is empty. Now next ask user to enter the element which they want to insert. So enter the element to be inserted and store it in a variable called ELE. So take the next element. What is the next element which we want to insert? Next element is 20. So what element is containing now? Element is containing 20. Now again increment the value of rear. So I think I forgot to increment here earlier. Rear was here now. Earlier where rear was pointing, rear was made to point here. When I was inserting a value called 10, rear was pointing here. Now when we execute this statement, what is that statement? Rear equal to rear plus 1 modulo max height. First increment the present value of rear. First increment the present value of rear. All of you mute yourself. Sonal, can you mute yourself? Sonal.
photos ರೇಷನ್ ಇಡಾಕ ಮುಂದ ಹುಡುಗರು ಬರ್ತಾಳ ಅವ್ರು ಪಾಪ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲೇ
Right, increment the value of rear and divide it by max. So when I perform rear equal to rear plus 1 modulo max, what happens here is rear will be made to point to this location. The value of rear becomes 1 because present value is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 modulo 5 is 1 itself. So rear is pointing to the index value 1. So rear is pointing to the index value 1. I'll just erase this from here. Now rear will not point to that location. So where rear is pointing? Rear is pointing to the index 1. Now at that location, circular queue of 1, you write the element. What is element? 20. So circular queue of 1, what I will write? I will write 20. So same way it go on, will be inserting all the elements into the circular queue. So say by following what the simple procedure we follow. First we increment the rear and rear will be made to point to this location. Then we insert 30. Next again we increment the rear. rear will be made to point to this location and insert the next element 40. Again increment the rear, rear will be made to point to this index and insert the next element 50. At this point of time, rear is pointing to this location. What is that? 4. And when rear is pointing to 4 here, what will be the value of count? Count will be having a value of 5. After 1 element, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So what this present value indicates, there are 5 elements in the circular queue. Circular queue is having 5 elements. Now compare that. Whenever you want to insert one more element, say for the 6th element, if you want to insert 60, so we'll compare whether the count is equal to max. Yes, in this case it is right. Then we give a message saying that circular queue is full and we cannot insert some more elements in the circular queue, because when the space is full, we are not supposed to insert some more elements. So we have tested one function successfully, inserting an element into the circular queue whenever there is space in the circular queue. If there is no space, we will say that circular queue has no space for more elements. So let us say we'll go for delete now. So how the deletion will take place from the circular queue? So assume this is the circular queue which is same as that of the above. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 are the index values, 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So these are the numbers. So these are the numbers which are present in this, and obviously we know that rear was pointing here and front is pointing to this location, and the present value of count is what? Present value of count is 5, because there are 5 elements in the circular queue. So before you delete an element from the circular queue, we should check one condition. So what is that condition we have to check? Whether there are elements in the circular queue or not. So before you delete, you should check. So when we say there are no elements in the circular queue, we say that there are no elements in the circular queue when the count is equal to 0. So whenever the count is equal to 0, we say that there are no elements in the circular queue. So in this case, this is false. Why? Because there are elements in the circular queue. Then what we do is we just display by saying that element deleted is %C. What is the element which we delete? Circular queue of front. So this is our circular queue, right? So this is our circular queue, and where front is pointing? Front is pointing to an index of 0. So whenever what is CQ of 0? CQ of 0 is 10. So that will be displayed here. The element deleted is equal to 10. The message will be deleted. For better understanding, what I will do, I will erase this 10 from here. That means 10 has been successfully deleted now. So 10 has been successfully deleted. What is the usual convention that we follow? After inserting an element into the circular queue, you have to increment the value of count by 1. After deleting an element in the circular queue, you have to decrement the value of count. So that will be doing it here at the end. But before that, as front is deleted here, you should take this front and make it to point to the next location. For that purpose, increment the front by 1, divide it by max size, and that will be the new value of the front. So 0 plus 1 is what? 1. So instead of pointing here, now the front is pointing to next location. So what is that next location? Front is pointing to location 1. Front is pointing to location 1, and then decrement the value of count by 1. So earlier value of count was 5, now count minus, the new value of count will be 4. 5 minus 1 is 4. Right? Repeatedly if you call this for the second time. So there are the value of count equal to 0. No, it is false. Why? Because count is 4. That indicates there are 4 elements in the circular queue. Then display the element deleted is CQ of front. Where front is pointing? Front is pointing to index 1. What is CQ of 1? CQ of 1 is 20. So it will display a message saying that element deleted is 20. Then later increment the value of front. So for simplicity, for completeness, I will delete this 20 for our understanding purpose. That 20 has been successfully deleted from the circular queue. So 20 has been successfully deleted from the circular queue. Right? So whenever you delete 20, we have to increment the value of front so that front points to the next location. So from here to here, the front will get advanced now. So front is pointing to this location. So for understanding purpose, I'll delete this. The front has been advanced to point to the next location. After advancing the front, decrement the value by 1. The new value of count becomes 3. So similarly, there are 3 elements left now. So when you delete, similarly, when you delete this 30, so the new value of count will be 2. When you delete this 40, new value of count will be 1. When you delete this 50, the new value of count will be 0. So ultimately after this, we have a value of count as 0. And when you still want to delete, you will compare this in the beginning itself. If count is equal to 0, then we say that circular queue is empty. Why our circular queue is empty? When circular queue is empty, we cannot delete the element from the circular queue. So that is what the circular queue delete functionality we have tested. Circular queue functionality, delete functionality we have tested. The very last functionality here is the displaying of all the elements from the circular queue. So when there are some elements in the circular queue, we should be able to display those elements from the circular queue. So displaying all the elements from the circular queue. I'll take the same circular queue for reference. 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? So these are the present existing elements in the circular queue, and we know that say when the circular queue is full, I'm trying to display all the elements. Front is equal to 0 and rear will be pointing to -1. No, not -1. Rear is pointing to 4 because now there are all the elements in the circular queue. So rear is pointing to index 4. This is what is the status, and what is the count value at this point of time? Count value at this point of time is 5 because there are 5 elements in the circular queue. And before you display elements from the circular queue, you should check whether count is 0 because count will be 0 when there are no elements in the circular queue. If there are no elements, we cannot display the elements. So circular queue will be empty. In our case, it is not the case. There are elements in the circular queue. So we can display the elements. So circular queue contains, the contents of circular queue are start from I equal to 1, go up to the value of count. Begin with the index I equal to 1 and go up to 5. Why? Because there are 5 elements. The value of count is 5. Value of count is 5. That indicates there are 5 elements in our circular queue. Right? So next, simply what we do, for every iteration of this for loop, for every index value of I, because we have started with 1. We have started with 1 and going up to 5. What you do, just print circular queue of j. Just print circular queue of j, because j we have initialized to front here. As you can see, j we have initialized to front. So where front is pointing? So front is pointing to index 0. So front is pointing to index 0. So whenever you perform j is equal to front, That is nothing but 0. What is the index value of j now? So j is pointing to 0 itself. So when you write this CQ of 0, what is CQ of 0? This is our circular queue. This is our circular queue. This is our circular queue. What is CQ of 0? Circular queue of 0 is what? So here I will write the output, what it gets displayed. So circular 0, CQ of 0 is what? 10. So after that, just increment the j by 1. Like same way we have to do. Increment it by 1 and divide it by max size. So circular queue size is 5. So 0 plus 1 is what? 1. 1 modulo 5 is what? 1 itself. So new value of j will be 1. So 10 has been successfully displayed. So later go for incrementing. Increment the value of I. Check the condition. So what will be the new value of I? New value of I becomes 2. Whether 2 is less than or equal to count. What is count? Count is 5. So 2 is less than or equal to 5. Condition is true. This condition is true. Enter into the for loop and display the next element. What is the next element? CQ of j. So j is 1. Circular Q of 1 is what? Circular Q of 1 is what? 20. So 20 will be displayed. So later increment the value of j. What will be new value of j? J becomes 2. Right? Then increment the value of I by 1. So new value of I becomes 3. Whether 3 is less than or equal to 5? Yes, true. Then display the next element, CQ of j. So j is 2. Circular Q of 2 is what? Here, circular Q of 2 is what? 30. So 30 will be displayed. Then increment the j by 1. New value of j becomes 3. Increment the value of I. So I will become 4 now. 4 is less than or equal to 5? True. Then display circular Q of j. What is j? J is 3. What is CQ of 3? What we can see. CQ of 3 is what? 40. So 40 will be displayed as the output. Later increment the value of j by 1. So new value of j becomes 4. Perform incrementing I plus plus. New value of I becomes 5. So 5 is less than or equal to 5. Condition is true. Then insert what? CQ of j. What is j? J is 4. CQ of 4 is what? We can see a circular Q of 4 is what? 50. So 50 will be displayed onto the output console. 50 is displayed. Then perform j equal to j plus 1. So new value of j becomes 5. Then perform incrementing of I. So new value of I becomes 6. Check the condition. Whether 6 is less than or equal to 5? False. Once the condition becomes false, we'll stop repeating the for loop and we'll come out of the for loop and just display two blank lines. What we have done, we have successfully displayed, we have successfully checked all the functionalities of the circular queue. We have successfully checked all the functionalities of the circular queue. So this is one sample run for that, how the options will be displayed. Like the same way what I have taken here is, in this case I have given element, enter the element to be inserted as 1 I have given. Again choice 1, element to be inserted is 2. Choice 1, element to be inserted is 3. Instead of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, I have inserted 1, 2, 3. Then again choice 1, 4. Again choice 1, 5. 5 elements are successfully inserted. Then again if you give choice 1, because the size of the queue is 5, already 5 elements we have inserted. How many elements we have inserted? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements are present in the circular queue. Even after that, if you give the choice 1, what it gives? Queue is full. Because beyond 5, we cannot elements into the circular. We cannot insert the elements in the circular queue. Next, try to display the content. So as we have inserted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it is going to display 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 elements. Then go on deleting. Choice is 2. The first element 1 will get deleted. Circular queue content again. After deleting 1, the content is 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, say choice 1, enter the element to be inserted. I have inserted one more element 6. So when you insert 6 and again display, the contents are 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So similarly, you can perform any other operations with the circular queue. So that was the sample program for circular queue, demonstration of its functionalities.